Hey, 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 hey. Hello and happy Sunday. I hope you guys are well. Angie looks like Angie is having issues with her computer or her internet. So she was in the back room. She said she was gonna go out and try to fix her I don't know if it's her internet or her laptop or her computer. So she hasn't been back since, so I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to cancel the show today and reschedule again. I hate to cancel the show, but I only have 3 people in here anyway. So unless anybody has something, any questions or anything they want to talk about, and put it in the chat, maybe we can talk about for the maybe next 10 minutes or so and see if she will come back. Okay, let's talk until she comes back. All right, little Debbie. Hi, True. Hi, little Debbie. Hi, Constance. Yeah, so let's talk while she come back. What do you guys want to talk about? I hate that she's having that issue, but yeah, she's having internet issue. If it's not internet, maybe it has something to do with her laptop. I don't know. But if there's anything you guys want to talk about, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. I can't believe how fast the holiday is approaching. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. We are in November. Before you know it, it will be Thanksgiving, and yeah, the holiday will be here soon. Anybody have plans for the holiday? I don't really have any plans for the holiday. I know Victoria invited me for the holidays, but I was like, I don't know. But it was really nice of her to invite me for the holidays. So I don't know. I think it will give me time to relax. I might do a show. I might come on live, Christmas Day. Even Thanksgiving Day. I might probably go live Thanksgiving Day just to see how it goes. Hi, Claudette. Good to see you. I was working all day in the yard, putting everything up and ready for getting the lights out. Wow, I can't wait. I hope you do a short, little Debbie, so we can see the lights. I know you bought a lot of lights from me, so I hope you didn't sell a lot of lights, but you put them up. It would be nice just to see the decoration and everything. I'm not used to decorating, so it's not something I was brought up on. We never celebrated Christmas growing up. The church my dad and us went at the time don't celebrate Christmas. It was a church that actually broke away from Jehovah's Witness, and they did their own, and so didn't believe in Christmas. Because basically, when you read the Bible, Christmas is definitely a pagan celebration, and world leaders came together and was like, let's celebrate Christ's birthday in December, even though he wasn't born in December but October. So the church wasn't celebrating Christmas. What they celebrated was called the Feast of Tabernacle, which is actually in the Bible. So the 7 days they celebrated the Feast of Tabernacle, which was really interesting. It was really interesting. It was really fun to see that. Hi, Regina. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you. All right. So let's see. Where is Angie? Angie, I don't know. She was supposed to come back in. Angie is having issues with her laptop or her internet. And that's the issue she's having. So when I was in the back room talking to her, she couldn't hear me. So she had to go out. Hopefully, and here she is. Hey, it took you forever.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. There's a bit of a delay, but I can hear you.
If I don't get me a new computer, I've got to get a new computer.
So you think it's the computer, not your internet?
Well, when I went back to try to get on my computer, it just kept kicking me out.
Huh. So, okay. So, have you ever like tried to clean your
It's an old
computer?
computer.
Oh, it's an old one. Okay.
It's old. It's an old computer.
Okay. That could happen. That could happen. Hi, Timeless. Welcome in. We were having Jubilee by the Sea
So what we got going
of
on?
lots of singers and groups. You see, this is what I was talking about. She froze. This is what I was talking about, Angie. She's delay reaction. Her delay reaction. All right. Hi, Lindsay. Good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. All right. All right. Hi, Scooter. It might be because you live in a rural area, Angie. Yeah, it could be. That could be the reason as well. So, I would.
It may straighten up in a minute. I don't know. It may straighten up in a minute.
All right, we're gonna see. I just like I'm glad you came back because I was about to end the show when I started. I was just gonna let people know that you weren't able to make it because your computer is giving you problems. But you do have a delay reaction. There is a delay reaction.
I'm gonna lay my hands on it and pray for
it. Guys, pray for Angie's computer.
Heal.
Yes, heal, heal, heal. All right. So did say hi to Lindsay Ann, Scooter. Hi, Scooter. Lori. Hi, Lori. Yeah, little Debbie said the aliens interfering. That's Ella making Angie late. Constance. Oh, Constance. All right, all right, all right. Well, like I said, Claudette say fingers crossed. Okay, can you talk so we can hear you that you're still there?
All right, can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
So, boy, we hadn't even covered anything in the back room.
No.
This is going to be flying by the seat of our pants, I'll tell you.
I was in the back room 10 minutes before 5 o'clock, and you couldn't even, it looked like you couldn't see me or hear me. All right. So, all right. Can you talk? All righty. Angie froze again, guys. Angie froze. What? Angie froze. All right. So what bugged me is bad internet when you need to do the show. Yeah, always get that issue. Hi, Brazilla. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. All right, so what we're talking about today, Angie, since we didn't get to the chit chat in the back room, let's see if Angie can drop something. We can start on it, and if she gets frozen, we'll just talk about it in the chat.
Okay, so what I really was, before I got agitated with my computer, I was thinking today we'd just throw a question out there to see if we, what makes us, okay, let me put it to you this way. If we're all born into the world the same, we're all going to leave the same, we're not going to carry anything with us, what makes us the in-between part? You know what I'm saying? And why is it worth it? Why does it matter? You know, why does the in-between part matter?
Okay, so like what you mean, like what the in-between part, give an example.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So what's the example you want to give so
Okay.
people can
Okay. Okay, so we're all born into the world. We're butt naked. Okay, we don't have anything, and we grow up and we start developing and becoming who we are. Well, if we're all going to end the same way and we're going to just not be here after so many years, what makes up? What's the point of us making those years and what we make of them? I mean, you know what I'm saying? What makes you you, and why do you continue to strive if we all gonna meet the same destiny? Now, this is a rhetorical question. I mean, it's just thrown out there to get people to think. You know what I'm saying?
Hi, Victoria. Hi, Jamie Bean.
I mean,
All
if
right.
you're gonna, I mean, what makes some people competitive? You know, some people are not competitive. They don't care about competing. You know what I'm saying?
Wouldn't
Some
you
people
say
do.
wouldn't you say that's human nature for people to be like that? Always striving to be the best, maybe because growing up their parents always want the children what's best for the children and always trying to strive to be the best.
Yeah, but what about the ones that don't have competitive natures? What causes that?
I guess if it's not in their nature, it's not in their nature. Okay. Um Adventures with Victoria say personal beliefs and the people we associate with, I think. Little Debbie say my journey is an adventure and I'm enjoying it. Claudette said, oh, I believe I keep going because life will go on once I get there. And Regina said, I think it's about power. I'm not competitive. Okay. It's about power. Yeah, I think people when you it could be power. People, like I said in the beginning, people are striving to do the best. People want to do the best. It could be something instilled in us by our parents when we're growing up, and it's almost like a competition trying to be the best. Yeah, we came into this world naked. We're gonna go out naked. We're not gonna take anything with us. You know, but some people, when they die, especially like in some culture, they think the afterlife, when they get there, they're gonna be having. They need to start a new life there, so they bury them with treasures and bury them. Why is it when people die, they throw things in the coffin so that they can take with them, when they get to the other side? So
Well, really, I'm just trying to be the devil's advocate because I know my beliefs. I'm like Claudette. I'm going to go on. I'm going to live forever, just not here. But
yeah.
everybody does not have that belief. So my point is this: who you are when you're born and who you are when you leave this world makes up the majority of what you leave to others. You know what you want to leave to someone, whether it be morally good. Some people get left money. I've never had that happen to me. My
Me
family
too.
doesn't leave that. But
Mhm.
I don't think money and things like that make you who you are unless you allow it to. Now I do think
Mhm.
some people tend to live that way. On They wouldn't know how to live if they didn't have money, you know. And some of us wouldn't know how to live if we had a lot of money.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I'm saying?
that's the same thing I was talking about. Is it's your nature or how you've been brought up. If you're brought up without money, okay, then like for me, we were middle class growing up. Both my parents worked. We didn't have to want for nothing, but it wasn't because our parents had the money that, oh, we wanted this, they would buy it for us. No, it wasn't. There was discipline. You just can't say you want this and you will get it. you know so at the end of the day, I've seen both sides. When my parents split up, I've seen the side where, oh my goodness, I was struggling. The roof over my head was important, that I came to find out. Food was important, because at the end of the day, when my parents split up, the kids were in the middle. Now one parent was this way, another parent was this way. That parent was forgetting that kids need, that you left behind, need to eat. The other parent forgot that, oh, we're gonna have to put clothes on these kids back, and then they're gonna need changing of clothes, because guess what, The two parents in a parent's household knew what they had to do. And one was like, oh, was that person responsibility? The other person's was responsibility. But when they both left, nobody was thinking who the responsibility it was for the kid. So growing up, I had to now think that if once I have money, I have to make sure that I have to be careful with my money. I have to be careful to make sure I have money to pay my rent, which was the most important thing. Have money if I have for my food. I knew I had to learn how to budget, you know. So
Okay, did that change you?
it didn't change me from trying to prove that, oh yeah, we know what, I grew up and my parents in an average household where, it didn't change me. I was who I was. Now when I had money, okay, when my first business I did, and it was growing, all of a sudden I went from counting $100 that I was making to be counting thousands of dollars. That didn't change me. So it just made me knew how to plan more because of the way I lived when I was 16. So it made me to plan what I'm gonna do now that I'm making money. I went from seeing hundreds of dollars to seeing thousands of dollars. And when you're
O-
making like up to six figure at the end of the day, you're like, okay, but you never know what's gonna come and sweep all that away and change it. But that didn't change my behavior. It didn't change me at all.
Okay, now I'm just throwing these questions out there. I already have my thoughts and belief on it. I'm just throwing them out there to y'all. Okay, do you think that was a choice
A choice of what?
for you to continue to be the way you were, or you could have changed into someone totally different because you could have resented it or been angry or been upset? Do you think that you made that conscious choice to continue on the path of doing the right thing according to what was right to you?
Well, what was right to me was, even though I'm who I am, I think because of what I learned when I was 16 when my parents split up. It didn't change me. Like when I didn't have any money, when I was struggling to find food to feed my siblings, till until I started living on my own and making money on my own. It didn't change me. It just made me become a better human being, to learn how to give to others. That's
Exactly.
it made me better. It made me think that, Ella, that situation you lived back when you were 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, you know what? You're going to have to learn that other people might be in that situation, and you're going to have to, like, not think that, oh, there's nobody that is in your situation. You can't, somebody might still be in my situation. You have to learn to help everybody that come across that you are. So that's who I am. It
Okay,
didn't
let me
that
throw this out there. All right, what about the person that gives up and says they're not going to try? Do you think it's their environment or just who they are or the way they were brought up? Now, this is just hypothetical. You know what I'm saying?
it could be for several reasons. Could be, it could be that selfish reason and not be how they brought up. It could be their personality one. I hate to mention this because I don't know if my sister is watching, but to give you a typical example, my brother will always compare my brother to my mother. They just think about themselves. They don't think about anybody else. And that I've seen that growing that is their nature. They don't know how to, like, say, oh, somebody else is going through something, let me help them. Their nature is like, oh, okay, so you're going through something, all right, okay. And that's it. Like, the nature to give is not in their freaking bone at all. So
So
my
you think it's genetically for the two parents that brought the child into the world?
I think, well, I will say on one, that's part of it, because myself and my sister, we love to give. My sister is a great giver, and myself, I love to give. But my brother, I don't know of my other two brothers because they were much younger when I left and I came down to the United States. They were much, even though they're in their 40s now, I didn't really grow up with them to know their nature. But my brother, that I'm a year older, oh my goodness. I mean, I could be like, I need something. And I was like, I need about $5 right now. I don't have $5. You know what my brother would say? My brother would say, well, I only got $20. I don't have $5, and walk away. I mean, he wouldn't even say, okay, take this $20 and you spend the $5 you need. You can bring me change when you want. My brother would just like, oh, okay, I'm so sorry, I only got $20. So we always compare him to my mom. It's like, you guys have this selfish bone in your body. You only think about yourself and don't think about nobody else.
Well, see, I'm totally different than anybody else in my with my siblings, because I've always been driven, and they haven't been driven, but we have the same mother. We don't have the same father. We have the same mother. Okay. So at the end of the day, I think it has something to do with the parents, but I also believe it has something to do with choice.
And you can always change.
And I think so. And I think you should be, as the years go on, I think you should be striving to have a goal and reach a higher goal than you had before. Not compared to somebody else, but compared to your goals.
Yeah.
And another question I have now, this is just me playing the question
All
game.
right. Before we ask the question, let me catch up with the chat.
Okay, let's see.
Day to day say what makes us matter is what we do in the time we have while we are here. I love to build people up and get to know our brothers and sisters across the world. I love helping people know their values. People are my muse.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Hi, Miss Josie. Welcome in. All right. So let's see. Victoria says, I want to leave happy, love, great memories, and a sense of gladness that they knew me. That's a good one.
Yes.
Claudette says, I want to leave good memories for whomever knew me. Some that they can talk and laugh about. I always think about that for myself. And I say to myself, I'm like, if anything happens to me and I'm gone tomorrow, at least I've left a lot on YouTube for people to watch and say, oh my gosh, she made a really good ass of herself and she was really funny.
And she was real. And she was real.
And she was real. Miss Josie say, Angie, you are so wise. I agree with your beliefs. Yeah. Victoria, I will remember like that. All right. Let's see. Who else? I love your answer day to day. Laurie says, we only got what we wanted for Christmas. We didn't ask for anything any other times because we knew better. My dad worked and provided for the family and we lived comfortable. That was true. And when you're growing up, not now, back then when we were growing up, we never asked for nothing. I mean, it was what your parents gave you when the holiday come, that's what you get. We never say, oh, I want this one, I want this one. It never was like that at all. All right, let's see. My brother is very committed. I am not. Yeah, we're always like that. Hi, Melinda. All right, I caught up.
Okay, so, and I'm just throwing these questions out there. So, let's just say some people were born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Okay, I wasn't. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I'm not sad about that. I'm not sad about that at all. Now, at times, do I wish I had more than I do? Maybe. But I'm very content with my life. Some people aren't. And some people tend to be jealous of people that succeed. Why do you think that is?
Maybe because one, they tried and they couldn't. And and some people get bitter. Why is it better for others and not better for them? Why they living comfortable life and they're not living that? That could be the reason.
I think, let's just say my family, for instance, we never know what we're going to have to face growing up and becoming older. Okay, yeah. Let's just say my sister had a husband to pass away when she was pregnant with their second child. Okay, she wasn't expecting that. She turned into a whole different person after that happened. She wasn't the same person. It devastated her. I mean, I'm sure it would anybody.
Yeah.
Okay. So she is not that same person I knew when my brother-in-law was alive. And I can't get that back from her because it changed her forever. But it changed her to the point where she has more anger now toward people that doesn't have someone that they lost. You understand what I'm saying? Like a mate. You know,
Mm,
it's like she resents it. I've never been there, so I can't say what I would do.
yeah.
I don't understand why. I'm not judging her. I don't
Mm.
understand. She was brought up in the same household I was, but things change you, events change you. But is there something inside you that could keep you to cause you to rise up again and say, okay, that's it. I'm not going to take this anymore. I'm going to get myself back. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it just depends on the event. It just depends on the circumstances. If you're able to overcome it, that's all good. To you, that's what I feel. If she's able to do it, if she's not able to do it, maybe she just needs some therapy or so.
Right.
Jennifer says, I've never been envious of things other people had. And that's true. I've never had.
I've never been envious of anybody else.
They got it, so that's fine. They're living comfortable, they're wherever, you know but sometimes, you people always want to think that, hey, why don't I live like this? Why is this person living like this? Why can't I get that? Why can't I do that? You know what? You just have to be grateful for what you have, because you don't know how that person came across what they got. The most I've ever wanted was enough to pay the bills and experience the world. Ella knows this about me for sure, and that's true. And that's all we ever wanted to do, is have enough to pay the bills. We didn't even say, "Oh, let me have more so I can do this and do that." I've traveled the world, so I'm glad I had a job that put me in that better position to have the money and able to travel the world as I was able to. I had the opportunity to go to Asia. I didn't take that opportunity to go. I had the opportunity to go to Australia. Those are the two continents I've never been. And I had the opportunity to go there, but I didn't go. But I decided to get married because of that. So yeah, all we want to do is just to be content in what we have and make sure we pay the bills. As far as we have enough to take care of our bills, I think if you're okay with that situation, then you're fine. If you're able to improve on it, to have a bit extra more to do other things, that you're okay. Don't be envious of people that have the money, that they can do whatever they want to do with the money. Sometimes I sit down there and I think, okay, what did they do? Maybe they had this idea, they were able to sell it and make money from it. Somebody paid them millions of dollars, and then they, in turn, decided to invest that money. So yeah, it could be that.
So what you're saying is it this is about choices.
Yeah, basically.
I'm just throwing these questions out there.
Mhm.
So if it's, I'm just trying to play, the questionnaire. So if it's about choices and we make choices, and I've never been the type of person that's been jealous of anybody that had anything, because I was more focused on uh, what James and I were building, the life that we were building, and I
Mhm.
really didn't pay attention to everybody else's income or what they were doing. I always cared about them emotionally and spiritually, but I never really was envious of them as far as money wise.
Mhm.
And so people that are jealous of other people that have money, maybe they haven't been shown the spiritual side of not being jealous, because some people don't have a spiritual side. They don't have those beliefs.
Miss Josie says, I think people who don't have faith become angry when they have losses. So not that, and that's could be true. They don't have faith, and so when things don't work out well for them, they become angry, become jealous. So that's another thing. But then, is it all just about not having faith that making people behave the way they behave?
Yeah, then that's what my next question was. I mean, there's people that do not have the same beliefs, and they live a good, comfortable life, and they, you know, do good to people, and they give to people, and they, you know, just because they don't have the same belief you do. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a personal walk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Miss Josie said, remember, rich people die just like poor people.
Yeah, that's my point. So if we come into this world, you know, but I agree with everybody said about you. You know, they want to leave good memories. They want to leave good, happy times. They want people to remember them as a good person or a decent person. Um, what's people's thought on how they handle someone that attacks them because they have more? What's their thought on that?
Oh, like, oh my, it depends. It's like if you know, kids talk, you know, when you're younger and you're in school and you don't dress well and you see other kids dress well, the kids that dress well, they're at the end of the day, they're just being a bully. They come up to you and, you know, because it all starts when we're younger, and they those kids because
That's
they
it.
yeah,
That's
because
it.
they have the money, and they're gonna tell you it's something that you didn't even know, because in your household you feel content with what your parents is giving to you, but then when you go to school and you look at the way you're dressed and the shoes you have on and the shoes another kid have on, or the uniform is just so prestige dressed up and everything, and that kid might bully you thinking that, oh, you look like you come from a poor household because look at your uniform, look at the way you're dressed and everything. You never even think that you're poor, but somebody else is telling you you look
It's
poor.
perception. It's perception.
So that is in your mind. Like Melinda says, I grew up the rich kid, but I was friends with everyone. I will tell my friends less fortunate not to be jealous of what I have. It's love, friendship, and family that matters more than money. That is true.
Absolutely.
But
I agree with that.
people don't see it that way.
Some
They
people
don't.
that have money are so miserable and so unhappy.
And that's what I'm saying is that even though they're happy because they have money, at the end of the day, not everybody sees it that way. They might see that you grew up rich and the other kid is poor, because guess what? When you want to go on school trip, you're in front of the line because your parents can give you the money. When you want to do, they ask for a uniform for a play or whatever, you're able to do all that because your parents are able to provide that, and the other kids, it's going to take them a long time, or they not may be able to take part in it because their parents can provide. That's where the jealousy starts. The jealousy, like, oh, that kid, you know, can have and whatever. So yeah. Victoria said, I may want what somebody else has, but I'm not jealous. I could have it too if I just work a little bit harder and save for it. That's
Yes.
growing up. That's true when you're growing up, but when at the time when you're a young kid, that doesn't come to your mind. You know, your mind first of all is like, why is your parents not rich? You know, and then when you grow up, you tell yourself, when I grow up, I'm going to make sure I work hard to get all the money I want to get, to do all the things I want to do, you know, so you don't live the life that your parents live, because that's what we compare it to. Like, I don't want to live poor. I want to make sure when I grow up, I want to make sure I'm able to do A, B, C, and D. Uh, All right. Money will not bring happiness. And that is true. Money does not bring happiness at all. Money just is just misery. But at the end of the day, the money is there. Um, you know, I'm telling you, if you have the money to do the basic things, put a roof over your head, and you'll be content with what you have. But if you get more money, all I'm saying is just learn how to share. That's the most important thing. Learn how to share when you have more money, because I don't understand why. Okay, typical example. I was watching this clip, nothing to do with what they call it, anything else you guys might have seen, but I was watching this clip about a church. Okay, excuse me. When we're in church and sometimes we're giving our offerings, and then you'll be thinking, you as you don't make that much money, and maybe you look at your purse, you got some change, you got some notes, you're like, okay, I have like a $10 notes and some ones. Guess what? Would you put the $10 or would you put the ones or the change in the offering bucket? Now you're gonna be thinking, because you don't have that much money, you might just say, okay, you know what? Let me put the ones in so I can save the $10 to buy food on the way home. Or you might decide to put the change in the bucket so you can have enough to go to work and all that. Now that's you, because you don't have. Now you see a rich person sit next to you, bring out a wad of cash like this, and they flip it, and all you see is 20 20 20 20s or 50 50s or 10 10 10 10s. Guess what? They flip through it, and all they do is take out, maybe it's like 20s and 10s and 5s and 100s, and they go through it and they take one, maybe $5 and put it in the offering bag. Why couldn't they put more money in the offering bag when they had a lot more compared to somebody that had a little? So that's why in the Bible, you see, when that woman in the Bible gave everything that she had, and guess what? Christ blessed her. And what did he say to her? You know, you gave everything you had
Everything.
for offering.
Hmm.
And that other person decided they weren't going to give, or gave very little, and they had a lot more, you know.
See, and I am a spiritual person, so I believe that you can't outgive God. I believe the more you give, the more it's going to be given to you if you do it freely and not with a selfish reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I wanted bell bottoms pants so bad when I was young, because everyone else had them. My mom wouldn't buy them for me. She said I need to be my own person, not to be like everybody else. And that was true. For me, when we were growing up and we wanted stuff, we never had to go ask my parents for it. We had to make do. Let me tell you, when mini skirts came back into fashion. I was in school then, myself and my friends, when they were all wearing mini skirts to parties, to school. Myself and my friend, you know what we did? We got a belt. We hiked up our skirt that was like below the knees. We pulled that skirt up all the way up and put a belt on it, and that was our mini skirt.
Necessity is the mother of invention.
Okay, right, Victoria. We need it to survive so we can eat and have shelter, but it's not going to make you happy. No. When I was in grade school, one of my friends lived in a beautiful house. I lived in a poor farmhouse. Her parents didn't allow her to come to my house, but I was allowed to go to her house. It's always like that. I don't know why. The rich always feel that, they don't want to go to somebody's house that they're poor, but our parents never restrict us from going to somebody's else house.
Well, you know, in the Bible it said it's harder for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God than it is someone that's not rich. You know,
Mm,
because
yeah,
they base it on what they have and not their faith.
that's true. Yeah. What a wonderful way to teach you to look at things, Laurie. Experience, appreciation, relationship provides fulfillment. That's true. Just like some couples decide to have another baby thinking that their relation will fix it.
Oh no, another baby is not going to fix a relationship.
Another baby don't fix relationship. I would put what I feel convicted to put it in there. Okay. Uh
Yes.
so crazy, Josie. It shouldn't been that way. My parents never said we couldn't go to a poor friend's house. My family loved everyone, rich or poor. And that's another thing. That your household can influence you with the people in it, and what they say and what they do. Because growing up as a kid, if you listen to what is being discussed in your household, You see the way they act, you act like them. If your parents are rude, you're gonna probably want to be rude. But at the end of the day, I think God gave everybody their own mind, you know, and you have a conscience to say, I don't want to be like my parents. I want to be better. Like I don't want to be like my mom,
See,
you
I
know.
totally agree with that, Ella, because my
Yeah.
mom and I would do the opposite of whatever she did. I would do the opposite. And it always worked out for me. Whatever she decided to do, I would do the opposite because I didn't, because of the relationship we had, you know what I'm saying? And the way she was. And I made a conscious decision to say, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like her. I want to be different, you know?
Yeah. Victoria says, however, we can't know what that money was for. It might be needed to pay a light bill or something similar. That has to be between that person and God, basically.
Yes.
True. Yeah. Basically, knowledge.
So, like I said, I made a conscious decision at a young age, and I'm talking about before a teenager, that I wasn't going to be manipulative and use people. And I saw it. I saw every game that ever been played in the world by the time I was 12 or 13. But in my mind, and I don't know if I got this from my grandparents or from somebody else influence in my life, but inside my heart, I knew I didn't want to be that way. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But the mother figure is supposed to be the strongest figure in a female's life is her mother. Mine
Yeah.
wasn't. Mine wasn't.
Laurie says, people that knew my mother always tell me I'm just like my mom, and I'm proud to be just like her. She was perfect in my eyes. Yeah, I'm glad people can say things like that, like, oh, but for me, I wish my mother was never
See, I
wasn't.
always wish that too. Yeah.
Yeah, my parents divorced. I was 16 when my mom left, you know, and she doesn't seem to understand even up to now. I'm 57. She sent me a text. She said, "Why are you so bitter? Why do you hate me?" I said, "Mom, I don't hate you. You just don't know how to be a mother. You always want
Maternal.
to, yeah, you
My
always
mother
want
wasn't maternal.
what you can get from your children. That's all you know. How? What can you give me? I said, how long have you been in the UK? You never called me, no text me, nothing. So that's the thing. It's just like everybody is different. Don't open it to your birthday. Don't open to your birthday. All right, where am I? Where am I? Where am
Shirley,
I?
read Shirley's comment.
Oh, Shirley. Hi, Shirley. Welcome in. Rich or poor, we are all the same. We all end up in one of two places, heaven or hell. We were not rich, but we had everything we needed and more. My dad worked hard. Yeah.
Yes.
Rich or poor, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you can wear your fancy clothes or you can wear your non-fancy clothes. At the end of the day, you're all gonna go one place. Everybody's gonna
Right.
match, go end up in one place. That's it. But we never think about that place because all we do and all we strive to do is live. So we don't think about what's gonna happen to us. Nobody thinks about what's gonna happen to us after we die. So they're gonna try to live their best life. All you want to do is live your best life. Whether you are rich, whether you're poor, you have the money, you don't have the money, just live your best life. You know, and you can enjoy your life whether you are poor or whether you are rich. Some people are rich and they have a miserable life. Some people are rich and have a fabulous life. Not every rich person have a
Not every rich
miserable,
person is bad.
yeah, and not
You
every
know what
rich
I'm saying?
person have a miserable life. And same thing with the poor people. Not every poor have a miserable life as well. Some people can be poor and they're content with what they have. No
Exactly.
trouble. They're in their house. Yeah, no trouble and everything. So they're fine. Day by day said I was raised by my father. Same thing from when I was 16 till I left when I was 24, I was raised by my dad. Anyone who told me I was like my mother had not, yeah, anyone who told me I was like my mother, there's not my friend anymore. I spent years to be different. You gotta be different. You gotta be you. If anybody sees traits of your parents in you and it's a good one, then you know what? Celebrate it. Dang, I just opened it. You just opened something you didn't even order for yourself. You just opened it, woman. I agree, Shirley. I've had a hard time with people that find fulfillment in the downfall of another. All I see in them is loneliness, lack of morals, and depression. That's true.
Yes.
That's true. Hi, Mary. Welcome in. Great discussion today, ladies. Thank you. You're welcome. Laurie says, when I was young, I thought my mother was the worst person in the world. When I became an adult, I realized my mother was like that to me to teach me right from wrong. It just depends on what your parents did teach you from right or wrong. When we are young, growing up, we all say we don't like our parents because they didn't give us what we wanted when we were young. Mom, I want to go out and have fun with my parents. Sorry, with my friends. My parents. Your mom says no, you can't go out. Stay at home. You know. I don't like you. I hate you, and you go to your room. You know, because they didn't allow you to go out. That is probably like a protection. When my dad, like I said, we grew up with my dad. My dad didn't allow us, even with my mom in the house before she left. When we were younger, they didn't want us to go outside and play. My dad was very strict about that. Don't go outside and play. And I think that kind of affected myself and my sister growing up. Now, we always like to be indoors and don't go outside. So, but my brother, that didn't affect my brother at all, and which is good for him because as a man, he's able to go out, communicate, have friends, and do whatever he wants to do. Stay out late if he can, and all that kind of stuff. For me, as soon as I notice that it's getting dark, I can't wait to get home. That is me. I just can't wait to get home. I want to be inside my house because I just feel I'm safe inside my house. So that's the thing. They're probably doing it just probably to protect you. Hi, Wildflower. How are you? Melinda said both my parents grew up poor, but both became successfully own their own business. So it's not where you came from either. And I see both poor become rich and rich poor, and that's
Yes. That is my point. It's
yeah.
not where you came from, it's where you're going.
Yeah, and how you actually handled both situations. So, yeah. Guess what? If everybody got $1 million now, I guarantee you, not all of you will be on YouTube. If you got $1 million, you wouldn't be here on
No,
YouTube.
and you would not spend it the same way. And some of it would have it in 10 years, and some of it wouldn't even have it for a year.
Yeah, some of
It's
it
just,
probably wouldn't even have it in freaking 6 months because and it's just the way you're brought up. Some
mhm.
people, don't you hear people that win the lottery? They win the lottery, and guess what happens to them? They go out, go buy big houses, go buy cars, go buy watches, everything,
And then they don't have it.
and then they never thought that because they bought a house, they're going to pay for you might buy the house outright. You don't buy electricity outright. You don't
Right.
buy
You got to pay for it monthly.
the land that the house is on. You don't buy that outright. The water that is pumping through, you don't buy that. Some people never think, so they just think because they bought a big house, you know and then you got to run it. You're going to need money. You're going to keep running it, and so they spend this money lavishly buying fancy cars and everything. And guess what? Where are they today? So it's the wisdom. You can have money. It's just the wisdom on how you spend that money, how you
Too,
invest that money. You
too
know,
much is given, much is required. You've got to know how to handle it.
yeah. And a lot of people don't know how to. Shelly said, my parents took everybody into their home if they needed a place to stay. They gave food, Christmas gift to those that wouldn't have a Christmas. They did. They didn't have extra to give, but they did anyway. Yeah, and
And that
you know,
probably made them happy. That's what they wanted to do.
yeah. My mother was strict with me, but I always knew she loved me. She explained to me that she was tough on me because I was her only girl and she wanted me to grow up right. That's not an issue at all. You know, like I tell you, my parents, my especially my dad was very, very strict. My dad, till I was 20 years old, you every day. I got tired. It was every day. I hope you're a virgin. I hope you're a virgin. I hope you're a virgin. I got tired of hearing this virgin, virgin. I was like, you know what? Let me go see about this virgin. You know, I
Let me
got
go take
tired.
care of this right now.
I said, let me go see somebody that can take care of this virgin because I got tired of hearing it. I stepped outside. By the time I stepped inside, are you still a virgin? Are you still a virgin? What? What? And I've been told that when I got breasts at 14, I was told that all of a sudden from 14 to I was 20, I said, you know what? I might as well go do something about it so that if they're gonna call me whatever name they're gonna call me, let they call me. So I had to
Right,
take care of it. When I was 20, I took care of it. And I was
right.
like, hey. So now if my dad called me every name in the book, I say, yes, I am. Thank you very much. You know, so yeah. You never own anything really. The government can come and take whatever they want if they need it. It's your land. Yeah, you never own nothing. You know, the government can come and take everything. Anything that you don't do it right. If once they take you out of this door, guess what? By the time you come back out, everything you left in your house is not gonna be that. So you might be away for a month, 2 months, whatever, whether you are right or you're wrong. When you get released out of prison, you get out. Guess what? That house that you left is no longer going to be there. Whether you own it, you don't own it. If you don't have people in place to take care of it, you're going to foreclose on you. Everything in the house is no longer going to be your own. Guess what? You're going to have to start from the bottom to work your way back up. You
And
know
it
how
can happen overnight. It can happen just like that.
you know how many times I have to start from the bottom because I moved from country to country,
Oh,
and I had to
I
start
can't even imagine.
over again. My friends in England, they were like, Ella, they didn't say, oh, you're just gonna go over to another country and marry a guy you met. They never said that to me. They were saying how brave I was. This is somebody, I've made my own money, I got my own place. I had to sell it because I met somebody and it happened to be in America. You know what? I packed everything up, put stuff in storage, and I came down here.
You
And then,
do have to be brave to do that, Ella, because I don't think I could move to the UK and be married to somebody else and not be in my own country. So I have to hand it to you.
yeah,
That
I
is
sold
brave.
I sold my house. I sold my house, and then I had to go back. Everything I had in storage, I gave away. I went to donate everything except for my friends that wanted anything. The fridge, everything that was in a house, I gave away. The only thing I brought for myself were actually I brought my DVDs because I thought my DVDs were important. I had over 300 pairs of shoes. I only bought like I don't even think I bought 10 pairs of shoes with me.
Oh, I love shoes.
you know, I bought my winter clothes. I only took because I was coming to Florida. I only bought clothes. I didn't bring, I'm telling you, the box that UPS, it was like 6 foot tall that they brought to pack the stuff I wanted to. I gave everything away. I donated what I could donate. My friends that came picked whatever they wanted to pick from storage, and that was it. And I came here. I started all over again. And then guess what? After living for 10 years, building everything up, and then I lost my home. I had to start over again. My friend is in the chat day to day. She will tell you I had to live in her closet for 5 weeks before I got a place of my own. I had to build myself up again. So, and it wasn't the first time, wasn't the second time, but I had the faith that, you know what? Let's continue to do it, and I will get there. I will get there.
And I
And
think you just said it right there. You had the faith. You
yeah,
had the inclination inside you, that you needed the spiritual part of you, who you are, to say you can start over. You can do it.
yeah. Because I just couldn't believe all the stuff that I lost and had to start all over again, you know. So when I moved in here, when my friend day to day, her and her husband and her children had to travel from Boynton Beach all the way to Tampa and got my stuff. They were able to bring my bed, able to bring my couch, and a few things that I have. This place was like empty. I had to build up. And she was the one that helped me with a job. I got a part-time job. I was working, and then I was making money. I had to pack up my business, everything. And then she was the one that encouraged me again to get back into selling again. If it wasn't for her, because I was like, I'm tired. I can't be doing it. I was telling her, I said, I'm tired. It's like every time I got to rebuild my life over and over and over again. But she encouraged me, and look at where I am now.
Right. And do you appreciate it more now than
I
you think
appreciate it
you would
every
have?
day.
And I think I do appreciate stuff more now
Yes,
by having to work for it, and work, and James and I work together to get it ourselves, than someone giving it to
isn't it?
us. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Because
That's why
you
we
you
didn't give
appreciate it
things
more.
to our children. We told our children, you have to work for what you have.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to give you anything.
Yeah, I'm telling you, yeah. I think I've told this story for who haven't heard before. When, um, my husband came to me. He was like, "Oh, the house is being foreclosed." No, it wasn't even foreclosed. The mortgage company didn't even take our house. It was the HOA because he stopped paying the bill. HOA went to auction our house. We had 1 month to move out. I didn't have nowhere to go. My friend came to see me in Georgia because a friend of mine said, "Oh, you can come stay with me." And then guess what? She came, she said, "Ella, my place is full, but anywhere you want to stay." I said to her, "I will sleep in the balcony," because she was on the sixth floor.
Wow.
I said, "I will sleep on the balcony." I said, "Because I can't stay in Georgia anymore." I said, "I can't stay in Georgia." Because she came to visit and she said they noticed I wasn't happy. I said, "No, I was crying every day. Every day for 1 month. I was crying because I didn't know nobody and I was in Georgia and I didn't like the place at all." So she said to me, "All right." I mean, she moved everything that she owned in her closet out. She had a walk-in closet, put a blow-up mattress in there that was hard as a bed for me to be able to stay. She made this place so like a home for me, you know. And let me tell you, I was so miserable, but when I left Georgia, came back to Florida, and I stepped into that closet, she made up like a room for me. I had a good night's sleep. I never cried. After that day, I never cried, you know.
But that's a good point you made, Ella, because I think a lot of times people don't want to move. I don't mean physically move, but sometimes you have to. But I mean when they're in a situation, they stay there even though they're miserable. And if they would just move out of the situation they're in
It
and
will
look
help.
at it in a different perception, their
Mhm.
whole life would change.
Yeah,
Their whole life
and
would
I
change.
wasn't I wasn't like, "No, I can't sleep in a closet." I wasn't, and if I was being like ungrateful kind of
Right.
person, and she offered, she said, "Look, Ella, you can come stay with me, but my husband and I, we have one room, my kids have the other room. All I have is, I can clear out the closet." I said, "You know what? I will sleep on the balcony outside. If I put the mattress outside on the balcony, I would sleep there." And she knew that, oh, she really meant it. So she did this, she did it for me because she felt my heart. And, I just, from if I was that kind of person, I would say, "No, no, thank you. No, I'm good, But nah, it wasn't for me. So yeah,
And I
sometimes you got
think
to make sacrifices.
we have to be at the point where we are grateful.
Yes.
When someone or our life is about to change, instead of being angry and bitter about it, we have to be looking We have to be grateful and say, oh, it's a new beginning. Something good's out there. Something good's going to come out of this, you know?
Melinda said, I've had other sellers email or text me about buying and donating all the time on lives and say it's not right. I tell them that is my money. I do whatever I want. Melinda, you got a heart of gold. You know, you got a heart of gold, whether it's gold or diamond, whichever one is the finest, you have it. And I wouldn't care, I wouldn't care, what they say. I wouldn't, and I'm glad you don't let it affect you. It's what you want to do. If you buy something and you want, I mean, the seller should be grateful that you're buying, because at the end of the day, if you're not keeping it for yourself and you donate it to somebody, the seller needs to be grateful, because at the end of the day, you're the one giving your money to them.
If she's doing it out of grateful heart, and I think she is, then no one should be telling her, even if she wasn't doing it out of a grateful heart, what to do with her money and what she should be doing. She's an adult.
So that's it. It's just between her. So I wouldn't feel bad about it. Some people are afraid of change. Yes. Let me tell you, a lot of people are afraid of change. A lot of people don't want to have anything to do with change because they feel like it's going to affect their position or where they are. But sometimes you just got to step out in faith.
Right.
That's all you got to do is step out in faith.
And failing is not the failure. Not trying is the failure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Tracy Cake! Guys, Tracy Cake is going to be live. So we're going to finish in the next couple of minutes because we want to go over to Tracy Cake and support her. Tracy Cake is live 6:15. So make sure you go over there at 6:15 to make sure you support her. So Melinda, donate constantly. She and Zane. Amazing people. Yes. And you know what? We are so blessed to have Melinda and other people and other sellers, whether and other buyers, whether you're buying for yourself or you're buying to donate, it shouldn't matter at all. It shouldn't matter. And I don't think, as a seller, we should, begrudge somebody for doing what they love doing. It's a blessing to give. I always say that it's a blessing to give. The Bible says it's better to give than to receive. Let me tell you, I don't know how to receive.
It took me many years to learn how to receive.
Yes.
And I'm still not good at it. I'm still not good at it.
Yeah, I'm that kind of person because I like to bless than to kind of like receive, so yeah. Claudette said, I love change. Yeah, you got to love change sometimes because you never know.
I'm excited to see what's going to happen,
Shelly said, my great grandmother was a pastor and evangelist. She held tent revival and pastoral. Also, her parents had a big manor in England, which they left and came to America. Ah,
nice.
I'm missing. You're missing? My parents were strict, but in a loving way, and I'm thankful for that. Let me tell you, I'm thankful that my dad was strict in a way because it will build your character. And I'm glad my dad, restricted me sometimes from going out. We had curfew. If you go out, make sure you're home at a certain time. I was only one time I went out and I didn't come back on time. Man, I was outside screaming for my sister to open the door for me.
Let me in.
And that was it because, I was late. That was the only one time I was late. Okay. But like you say, when you grow up, you have kids, you understand why your parents were strict, but to a certain, point. I don't have kids, but let me tell you, if I had kids, I would have been too strict.
Look, Matt, my son now says to me, Mama, I can't believe the stuff that you let Taylor and I do. And now that I have 2 children, I'm like, wait a minute, what did I let you do? Spill your guts. Tell me. Because I didn't know I let him do anything because I think he slipped off and done things he wasn't supposed to. And he
Yeah.
just looked like, well, maybe I opened my mouth. But now that he has two children, he sees why we did what we did. You
Yes.
know?
Yeah, and then any kid will be thankful they went through that. Like, you know what? I'm so grateful for my dad. We didn't really get along, and like I don't get along because I just felt that my parents weren't parents that I suppose they could be for me. But I am grateful for the life they gave me. I'm grateful for the way they brought me up because it taught me a lot, and I didn't go out thinking I'm mad because of the way they brought me up. It made me mad at a point, but I had to learn to forgive, and I had to learn to be my own person and never try to be like anybody else, but to be me, you know.
Right.
Mary say thank you for opening up to us. It really helps to keep my compass pointing south. I want to live in the light with love. Yes, and that's
Yes.
all you can do because you feel better. You go to bed, you sleep well. You don't have to think about stuff that will keep you up at night.
Right.
Go to bed with a clear conscience, and that's it. That's all you can do is just be who you are. You
Right.
know,
And no one's better than anyone,
Nobody-
regardless of what they have or who they are.
yeah,
And when you treat people that the way you want to be treated, regardless of what they have or not have, then it changes the whole aspect of your circle of who you
yes.
are.
Yes. You know what? And another thing I want to say too is, you know what? We can always come on YouTube and talk about the type of person that we are, and I am so grateful I've met people on YouTube that know me, see me on YouTube, and then they know me outside of YouTube and say, yes, I will guarantee you that is Ella.
That
Like
she's
my
the
friend
same.
came
Yeah.
in and said, during the auction, she said, I've known Ella for years. I have known her since 2013, and she knows me. She knows I'm loud. She knows I am, she just knows me for who I am. And she sometimes used to break down my character for me. She said, Ella, sometimes when people mistake you or for what you say, sometimes it's because people don't know that you are British and know the way that you act differently. Some people, I mean, for my friends to sit back and take time to understand another woman from another culture. I've come across two continents and two cultures, okay, and enter a third country with different culture. I had to come to America and learn the way they talk, learn the way they do things, they say things. I mean, I was in England, I was in
You had to
Africa.
make friends, you had to make connections, you had to learn the
So she
business
used to
aspect
sit
of it.
back. Yeah, she used to sit back and say, Ella, I understand you, but not most people will understand who you are. So when my friends get to understand me, it really touches my heart. And then I don't have to say much. They say, Ella, just continue to be you because they know me. Now, this is what I don't understand with people that they never met this person, they never lived with this person, but basically they want to go break their backs to think that this person is perfect, you know because you see
Right.
them on YouTube and they're telling you how good you are and whatever you are, on YouTube. Please, you know please,
I've never really
you gotta live with
understood.
somebody first. You gotta live
Yeah,
with
and
somebody first to know
that's who I want to. That's who I want to deal with. Like, you're real, Ella. I want to deal with people that are real, and the ones that are putting on a facade or being something that they're not because there's a camera here.
yeah.
My heart goes out to them, and I really feel bad. Used to, I'd be angry about it, but now that I've matured, I'm really saddened by it, that they can't really be who they are. That people would probably love them for who they truly were if they would just be honest, you know, and
Yeah.
want to change and be better.
Yeah. I like this one. Tracy Cake said, I had to face me in the mirror. I am very accountable for my actions. And that is true, and you got to be a great critic about yourself. You look yourself in the mirror. This is who you are, you know, and this is, I mean, if you a day one, I always say day one, you tell people this is how you are. They show you, who they are. You take them and say, okay, you don't see kind of change in them. That's who they are, and that's who they continue to be all along. That's why I tell people, you want to know who I am? Go see. I've never changed. Go back and see all my videos. I'm just
And I
who I
will
am.
tell people I'm not perfect. I don't want to be perfect. I make mistakes every day and I do things wrong and I say things wrong,
Yeah.
but I love people and I love to be there for people. You know what I'm saying?
Hi, Layla. Watching you today, Ella, I said to myself, Ella is a rare, honest, pure soul when you started to cry.
Yeah, true.
Thank you so much. I mean, that scared the shit out of me. It did. And like I wanted to shut the live down because I just said, you know what, I'm done. I am done. I was done. I was already, I'm like confused and I was already crying and like tears was running down. I was like, what is going on? Oh my gosh. You know, yeah. Oh, Tracy Cakes, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. This is for you, my friend. Thank you. All right, let me go up and find my super chat. I'm coming for you, Tracy Cake. You're going live soon.
Thank you for the super chat. 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 Super, super, super chat. Super, super, super chat.
Mwah. Thank you, Tracy Cakes.
And
I
look,
appreciate
I
you.
want to say just one thing. When I say to people, I love you, and people think I throw that around, like really just throw it and it's not meaningful. I want people to know I really do have a love and a heart for people. And when I say that, I mean it. And, a lot of people can't accept that because they don't never felt the real meaning of the word love. You know what I'm saying?
They haven't
But I want
experienced
that
it
to
too.
change.
Yeah. A lot of them haven't really experienced what love or true love it feels like. And, for me, I never experienced it at home. I didn't know what it was
See, I didn't either
because
until I got married and got out of the house.
it actually wasn't. Even I didn't, when I just felt, oh, I love people when I was dating and I thought, oh, this guy loved me. And I was like, okay, so why did you leave him after 3 months? I was just like, it wasn't what I was looking for. And I give
Right,
myself a break and I meet somebody else and I thought, oh, this is the love of my life, but it never felt right, all the time.
right,
It never be
right.
that's because one thing, I never felt what love was like even at home. But then when I met my friends that really truly love me because I saw what they're doing or what they've done, like I said, like day to day, which is Brandy, you know, I mean, for the woman to open her home for me, she didn't have to do anything for me. She could have been like other friends and say, "Oh, Ella, oh, how are you? So you're in Georgia now? Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Wishing you all the best." She could have said that, but she didn't. Her heart was heavy. She said when they were driving away and she looked back, she could notice that I had fun with them when they came pick me up and I stayed with them in the hotel for the weekend for a conference they were attending. But then when they dropped me off and had to go back, I just sank. I was miserable, you know, and she knew that straight away. She knew that. And that is what pure love was about. I was like, wow, for somebody to open their heart, this is love.
and I'm
You
gonna
know,
tell you something. It's not always that ooey gooey feeling either.
no, no,
Some people think it has to be that emotional ooey gooey, and it doesn't.
yeah. Life is short. Greed, selfishness, hate, fakeness. It's not worth it as we don't know when our last breath will be. Yeah. See, everybody should love one another. If you have love in your heart for somebody, you can love them. It don't mean because you don't talk to somebody, don't mean that you don't love them.
Right,
That's another thing we get confused. It don't mean because you got beef with somebody that you don't love them. You stop loving them. You can love them. Don't mean because I don't talk to you, I don't love you.
you might not like everything they are, but that
Yeah,
doesn't mean you don't love them. And
it
love
doesn't
means
mean
you
that
want
I
the
don't
best
love
for
them
them.
because
You want the best for them.
You
You
just
want
want
them
the
to
best for them. You
succeed.
don't want hate in your heart. I
Right.
don't know how to hate somebody.
Oh, well, no,
You know?
I don't. Mm-mm.
And I always say, the Bible always say it. So why would I hate you? I don't hate you. I might
No.
dislike the stuff that you do,
Right. I don't.
but I'm not gonna hate you as a human being. I
Hate
might be
cannot
a
dwell where love is, and
yeah,
love cannot dwell where hate is. Just
yeah.
like fear cannot flow with faith, and faith can't flow with fear. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. So I might not I don't might say, oh, I don't like your disgusting attitude, but that's not gonna say, oh, I'm gonna hate you or anything. No. That's the thing. I'm not that type of person. I never grew up with hate to come and hate somebody else. But yeah, I could dislike the stuff that you do. No.
Right. Right.
So that's
And you
that.
have to love some people from a distance.
Yeah. Ella, you would hear that from me before you do. No, Tracy. I let people show me who they are really are now at my age. I listen. Yes, they'll show you who they are, the way they
Believe them.
behave, the
Believe
way
them.
they talk, and all the way they act up, the way they tell their lies. One minute they say this, next minute they say something else, and it's like you can't even. I mean, some people talk so much on YouTube. I had to go open the door and go look whether it's the rapture has happened. I'm like, did the rapture take
Right.
place? Because I want to know. So I say love a lot is no love like for my kids, but I try to love everyone. Someone may need to hear just that. Yeah. I hate gossip, words
Yes.
hurt. Yeah, and that's it.
Yes.
Just depend on how many people you have friends. That's why I keep my friends to me, myself, and freaking I. All right? Me, myself, and freaking I. Okay, that's it. So I don't want if I hear it, okay, I hear it. All right. It's all good. That's fine. Moving on. That's why I keep so many things to myself. You gotta
Oh,
rub me the
yes.
wrong way. And when I hear
Yeah.
too much stuff, I'm like, no, 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 no. You're not gonna say
I
shit
don't
about
engage
me.
in a lot of it. Don't
Oh,
engage.
you're not gonna say shit about me while you're looking sitting pretty. Because I don't want people to think the shit you said about me, it's true. So I've only called one person out. And if I need to call more people out, if they say stuff that I didn't say, oh, I'm happy to do that. But like I said, my channel is for selling. It's not for calling people out. I don't do the drama. I try to stay away from it as much as I can, you know. So that's one thing I do. I don't want to do it. But if it just continue to happen all the time, I get tired of it. I'm like, you know what? Oh, no way. No way. You're not gonna sit down and make yourself look good and
Enough's enough.
try to spoil my
Yeah.
day. It ain't happening. It's not gonna happen. Not doing that.
Enough is enough.
Yeah. Hi, Jamie. Welcome. We can love people, but not like the things they do or what they represent. Yeah. Mary, yes, words can hurt more than physical pain. Yeah, words can hurt. It just depends. You have to weigh the words. Depend on what they say. You can call me all name in the book. That's fine. I don't have to say nothing. But once you tell me I said something that could be really damaging and I never said it, you know what? I will come out defending myself because everybody's got an honor and you want to defend your honor. I don't have
Right.
anyone to defend me. I only have God to defend me.
The way I look at it, what
So
you say about me is none of my business.
yeah,
I don't need to know how you feel about me.
I don't care.
I could care less.
Yeah, I don't care. You can say whatever you want to say about
But
me.
don't put words in my mouth that I said something about somebody else or something that I did when
And
I
I did
didn't
not
do it.
say it. Mm-mm. Do not say it. No, let me tell you. Like I said, you better come with your freaking receipts. Because if you say Ella said something, I'm okay. I'm here waiting for the receipts. I had to come to America to learn receipts. Because
Yeah.
before I'm telling you, I had to come to America to learn about receipts because before when I was in England, and that's why I don't have a lot of friends because this one would say, oh yeah, this person said this person said this. And I'm like, I'm having a freaking headache and a nightmare. Okay, I never had receipts to like justify myself.
It's all about documentation, documentation, documentation. If you don't write it down, it didn't happen.
And then when I started seeing that, oh yeah, you gotta have receipts. I'm like, okay, receipts. I got a lot of recording and I got a lot of text messages. I got a lot of email. All right, let's create a folder and put them in. That's how I started collecting my receipts.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
only collect receipts on people that, you know what, they're not trustworthy.
And that is
Other people,
CYA.
I
That
don't
is CYA, Ella. Cover your,
your
that's
ass.
CYA. That's what
Yes,
that
I'm
is.
saying it. Your ass, cover your ass.
Yes.
You know,
CYA.
and the thing is that once you step through my door and I know who you are for who you are, and I notice you, that is the time I'm gonna start collecting my receipts, because I don't know what you're gonna say I said and I never said it. I will start
Right.
collecting my receipt from day one. I notice your behavior, but I'm not gonna use it for you because everybody's different. But if you continue,
Yeah,
uh,
don't make me bring the receipts out because I
yeah,
have them, but don't
yeah,
make me bring them out.
yeah. So that's it. OMG, Ella. I keep telling OG I am so hey, I know we are behind, and I know Tracy Cake's got a show. We're gonna go over there soon. I want to bitch. I don't have anyone to bitch to. Well, sometimes you can do that to yourself, or like you can do what I do. I put on a good comedy show and I just sit down and watch and laugh and laugh and laugh. Let me just, I run commentary. When I watch some stuff, I will just run commentary. You know, I like to watch Raymond and
Robin, just set your dogs down and just bitch or just bitch in
bitch
front
to
of your
them.
dogs.
I can't believe the auction community can be so stressful as it is. Let me tell you, I'm stressful enough trying to package, invoice, and put together, and then come to deal with other people's bullshit. On top of that, I just like, it's not for me. It's not for me. I can't do it.
And
It's
we're
just too much.
supposed to be adults.
Yeah. Instead of being involved in the drama in life, we should be thinking about and praying for children and women who have been stolen and have been sex trafficked. Yeah, there's so many things. Not only that, so
But
many
just
things
just
else.
moral goodness and moral beliefs and standards and
Yes.
integrity.
Crazy Gang, shouldn't you be in your auction?
Okay, Tracy.
No, she said no. No, no, I missed it. All right. Anyway, we caught up. She said the Heifers had no time for BS. Yes. Don't nobody have time for BS. All right.
Come on, Robin. You can come to my house and bitch to me. I don't
Okay.
care.
Yeah, you're not far from Angie.
Come
You're not
on.
far from
Come
Angie.
on.
All right, guys, we're gonna end the show, and we're gonna go over to Tracy Cakes. So make sure you go over there to Tracy Cakes. She's there herself, and Colleen are doing a wonderful thing today on her channel. So go any way you can to help with the event they're having today. Please go there, and don't
We won't
forget.
tell Tracy. We won't tell OG.
Don't tell Colleen.
We won't tell. Your secret's safe with us. Even though this is being recorded and it's going to be out on YouTube, we won't say a word. Your
Don't
secret is
worry,
safe.
the receipts are there.
Yeah, we won't say a word.
All right, guys, we love you. Like I said, let's go. She said, NOG ain't dead. She's unless until I see her on Tracy Cakes today. I know I talked to her, I text her, and she texts me back because I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. She texts me back. Until I see her with my own two eyes on Tracy Cakes today, I don't know. Anyway, guys, we love you.
Love you all.
Thank you so much for your
Thanks
support.
for being here.
Until next time, guys. Peace. Don't forget to go over to Tracy Cakes